hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga, and for anime only fans. This is going to be a time of month where a lot of the content on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. I'm going to try and do some extra anime only content for you guys. With all that being said though, if you're still here, I'm going to assume that you guys are okay with me talking about spoilers. So before we get into talking about the complexity of Naruto's new transformation and why it's more insane than you guys have ever imagined, I just want to say one thing here. So I'm recording this video before the actual chapter is out. I'm recording this on the 18th, and I just want to do a reminder. I get this question a lot when the chapter comes out. Now keep in mind, the chapter review is going to be out later on the day of the chapter, because I have to do the review once I get off of work. Once I leave work, I can come home, I can record the video, edit the video, and get it up. So more than likely the chapter review will be up in the afternoon or in the nighttime. So probably between 6 and 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is when you're gonna get the actual chapter review this week. So just wanna go ahead and throw that out there. That way we don't get a bunch of comments saying, where's the chapter review? So with all that being said though, let's go ahead and jump back into this topic. So I gotta say, man, this new information about Naruto's transformation, no cap, but I absolutely love this, and I love it because it reminds me of the 8th gate, but it reminds me of the 8th gate in a different way. So like the 8th gate, we all know that Naruto's transformation is gonna come at the expense of his life. However, the way that Kurama describes it and the type of stuff we're seeing Naruto do, it makes me believe that this is something that is going to go down as a more hype moment than what you got with the 8th gate. So in the latest Boruto chapter, one of the things we find out is that Naruto, as he's talking to Kurama, you know, because Naruto, even though he's Hokage, Naruto still has some idiot tendencies. Naruto says, well, what's the difference with this new transformation and the Sage of Six Paths mode? What's the difference between this and me just using the Kurama mode? And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense, because I was wondering the same thing. Was this just Naruto using both halves of the Kyuubi's power? Well, not exactly. So what's happening here is that Naruto, when he's doing this, Naruto is in a situation where Naruto is taking his energy and he's taking the Kyuubi's energy, and they're coming into one and they're combining to make a brand new form of chakra. And the way that Kurama describes it is, Kurama describes it as being like the nuclear fusion that you see when the sun is producing the light. A really good way to look at this would be to look at the actual cycles and stages of the sun. So when you look at the lifespan of an actual sun, when you get to that giant red dwarf stage, that's where Naruto is currently by using this new form of power. Naruto's chakra cloak is still golden, but it's got a huge reddish tint based on what we've actually seen, based on the upcoming chapter cover and everything, and the way that I've seen a couple people describe it based off of the actual spoilers for the chapter. And so the fact that Naruto's chakra is at that reddish, that orange reddish dark red state where it's at now, we're at that stage now to where Naruto is approaching the white dwarf stage, which is the end game basically. And so what he's saying at this point is that essentially Naruto's going to continue to just shine and shine and shine and pump out even more chakra, and eventually it's going to get to a point to where just as the sun continues to grow and gets to a point where it's getting ready to explode, Naruto's at the same level now to where you're actually seeing something that's coming from the war arc of Naruto. So one thing I've not seen a lot of people bring up is the fact that Naruto's new power is being compared to the sun. What kind of seal did Hagoromo give to Naruto? I'm gonna get on some big brain energy for a second. What type of seal did Naruto get from Hagoromo? He got the Yang seal, and that Yang seal that he had was, it was the sun-like palm seal that's on his hand. So Naruto had the power that was essentially sunlight. Naruto has a new type of chakra mode transformation that has a brand new type of energy that is being compared to the sun and is eventually dying out like the sun. that is a very symbolic gesture right there. And when you hear Masashi Kishimoto back in 2016 say that when he's going to kill off a character, when a character does die in Boruto, whether it be Naruto or anybody else, if they do get killed off, it has to be done in a way that does the character justice. It has to be something that is very fitting for the character. It can't be something as random as them getting hit by a stray bullet or getting run over by a bus or something like that. It has to be something that's very beautiful and very well done. What more can you get than this right here? Naruto's new transformation compared to the sun is dying out like the sun. Naruto is given a power by the Sage of Six Paths, who is also an Otsutsuki, that has the seal of the sun on his hand. And now Naruto's also using the power of the Kyuubi in this new form against another Otsutsuki. This is beautiful writing right here. Just as the sun continues to grow, it's going to continue to keep growing and shining until it becomes a white dwarf. And then once this happens, that's when it's going to disappear and it's eventually going to die out. And so it's the same thing here, to where Naruto is going to continue to just shine brighter and brighter and pump out even more chakra until it gets to a point to where his body can no longer handle it. And then at that point, Naruto's body will cease to exist. Naruto will no longer be alive. And so this is what I love in this moment right here, is it's the fact that Kurama says that it's a new type of energy. So calling it chakra isn't necessarily the correct thing to say, because Kurama says it's a new form of energy right here. And that would explain why when Ishiki sensed it, Ishiki immediately was caught off guard, because Ishiki's looking at it and he's not sure what to make of it. But in this short amount of time, what Naruto's able to do is Naruto is pumping out so much power that he's erased like 23 hours of Ishiki's lifespan in this new vessel that Ishiki has down to 30 minutes. And so Naruto's done a lot in that time period, just from the presence of his chakra and the damage that Naruto's just been pounding onto this dude. And another thing I find very fascinating about this is the fact that as Naruto's just pumping out this power, Sasuke goes from being impressed by what he's seeing to Sasuke sees it, and Sasuke's genuinely getting worried because he can sense what's happening to Naruto. And he says that if this continues, Naruto's chakra's just dropping and dropping. And even Ishiki looks at him and says, it was a shame you had to use a power like this, because at the end you're gonna die. This definitely fits into what we saw in those Kakashi, Sasuke, and Naruto Retsunen novels. It's the same principle, but it's different. So this isn't necessarily the chakra illness. I've seen a few people ask me that. This isn't necessarily what you got there, but what you're seeing is something similar. Just like with that chakra illness that takes place in these novels, you have it to where it's explained that because of the way that the human body is structured, when you become a Jinchuriki and you have all of the Kyuubi's chakra, let alone chakra from all the nine-tailed beasts like Naruto has, to have that much chakra running through your body, at a certain point the body itself cannot control having that much power, and so the body eventually loses the ability to use chakra, which is the whole reason why they had to go on those missions in order to find a cure for Naruto's illness, the same illness that the Sage of Six Paths had, because eventually Naruto will end up dying because of that. And so it's a similar principle here, to where Naruto's using this new type of power, and as he's using this power, he's getting the opportunity to take down Ishiki, and yet Naruto, once all this is done, Naruto's body's not going to be able to handle it. So I like that you're seeing a true cost for the power that Naruto's using. This is something that I feel is elevated above the 8th gate, because it really feels like this might actually be the ending of a character that so many of us find true and dear to our hearts. However, I want to know from you guys, how do you guys feel about this? Do you think that this is a good enough trade-off for Naruto's power? Do you think that this is something that makes it feel earned? that Naruto is gonna potentially be in a situation to where, and again, I haven't read the whole chapter because it's not out yet, but potentially be in a situation where Naruto might be able to push Ishiki to his dying moments. Do you think that this is a good enough trade-off for that level of power? Let me know down in the comment section below, but as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.